Good evening. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Monday, the 12th of February, 2024. What a Super Bowl game. If you're in America, and you follow football, that was probably the greatest Super Bowl game of all time. I mean, it had something for everybody. You couldn't leave your seat. They both won. I want to go on record saying that. Yeah, I love Mahomes and all, and I was rooting for Casey, but 49ers did a great job. Congratulations. New rules, change of things. I think they made the game better, a lot better. I'd like them to change one thing. I'd like the kickoffs to be further back so you get run backs, and I know why they do it. They don't want people to get hurt, but it's football. What can I say? Now, let's talk about hurt. You know, I'm watching the FOMO at work, fear of missing out. You know that's what's going on in the stock market. People are just buying. They're buying everything. They're saying if you go to a deli in Chicago or a restaurant in Chicago, if you go to a coffee shop and anybody's talking finance, can you believe that stock market? It just runs. That is, just listen around you. You hear it. I'm in the world of finance, so I have friends that are in it. So you hear that all the time. There's a two-step event about to happen. The first step's in the morning. We're going to get CPI numbers. Are they going to be hot? They're going to be cold? Which way they're going to go? It's hard to trade into them, but it's not the number there that I'm as worried about, because it's one set, and if let's assume that they really show that you're falling. You know that the naysayers are going to come out and say the Fed shouldn't wait for spring, summer. They should move in March. You know that. If it's a hot set of numbers, nobody's going to just say that the Fed's going to go up right away. They'll want to see another set behind it. And one thing the market has not done is it has not priced in that the Fed would go up on interest rates. I don't think anybody's priced that in at all. And it is always something you got to just have in the back of your mind. Do I think it's reality right now? I do not. But do I know to think about it? Yes. But here's what I'm thinking is the event. NVIDIA's earnings come out on the 21st of February. This is a stock that has carried everything, and it is priced to perfection. By the way, if it even gets a perfect set of numbers, you sometimes get the buy the rumor, sell the fact, no matter what. It just happens out of left field. Nothing grows to the sky. Just remember that. Is this a recessionary year? No, we have not had a recession. What's the average correction in a year that you don't have a recession? A normal break from peak to trough, about 13%. So if you get that kind of break in the market, you have cash ready to buy, because there'll be people that bought too high and they'll be going, oh my God, what happened? And of course, you always get the investors that will just sit properly and they'll say, nah, nothing has really changed, just a correction in the market. But how do you position yourself? Well, that's the danger right now. Your danger is, first, you got to get through the CPI, and then next week, the 21st, we get the NVIDIA call, and that's really going to be what it is. Is it able to carry the market even further because their guidance is so strong, or is their guidance good but not so strong that the market just looks for any chip in the armor and uses that to suddenly come in? Would it be smart to take money off the table? I'll let you decide that. My job here isn't to do that. I do that in my morning paid subscriber videos. I won't tell you what to do with what I'm saying there. I can tell you that I think I'm on to something, that AMC in the under $4 is an interesting play again. Not long term, but for the bounce. And that's better movies are going to be coming out. Rivian downgraded today, as they should all be. All electric cars aren't selling in America. They're too expensive. You don't need them in big cities. I'm going to repeat that 100 times. A hybrid does a better job than a fully electric car in America's big cities. Will electric cars one day be the right car? Absolutely. Is that down the road? Yes. Is it far down? No. But it's not tomorrow, and it's not next year either. We don't have anywhere near, under the administrations, both the Trump and the Biden administrations, back to back, where they've done a lot for the infrastructure. You can't drive tollways highways and go cross country and be comfortable driving one of those. They're meant for short duration drives, 300 miles, 250 miles. And if you, by the way, nobody's comfortable when you're down to your last 5 or 10%. Is it really 5 or 10% I have left? Where am I going to get a charge? How long is that going to take me? That's the dilemma. The hybrid fits right in, and that's why the smart money people are moving to that. In America, I realize Europe is different. I realize Asia is different, and so should you. Tesla, and I'm going to repeat it, they're a car manufacturer. I'll stick with what I say. I'm nervous about NVIDIA up at these prices. It's price perfect, as I said. Netflix giving up a little ground, but what a phenomenal run it's had. And Amazon. I'd love to see a break happen in the markets because I think the market is still in great shape. Now, one of the markets that we were talking about that I covered on the weekly was Cadence Design Systems, and they're about the development of integrated circuits and electronic devices of all types. And this is a huge reversal day to the downside. I did this for the weekend, and now I'm looking at this today and I'm wondering, is that a warning sign? It most certainly is not if in the next 2 trading sessions this high is taken out today. But barring that, outside days are very important. They're often a precursor to something that may happen. Maybe this market is saying, hey boys, let's pause a little bit. What's the trend? Well, you got this down, and you had this big down. I don't see a trend. I can argue on one hand higher highs, higher lows, and on the other I can say, no, that's not true because you had this big reversal down. And this is what I mean by that rule when it doesn't work. Let me see if this will let me yet. It will. If you take my outside day course, you've got to learn how to work with this. That's a big outside day down, and within, remember I said 2 days, if it's taken out, there's an event that happens and you've got to learn how to pay attention to that event. You have the same setup again. And no, take the course so you understand what I'm saying. If the market wants to give you a good correction now, wherever the 18-day average comes in, it's currently 295, but it's moving at the rate of, let's see, what was the day before? 293.80, 291.90, so about $2 a day. So it'll probably be up around 297.5 tomorrow, just a guess, into an area that the market will be for the support. Bollinger Band, absolutely. What do I teach you here? And I know many of you understand that I really teach Bollinger Bands. They're so darn important, but on their own, they're not enough. You've got to learn to work with them on stochastics, and you have to modify the stochastic to my version if you want to follow what I do. I don't walk on water. You may have your own way of doing it. But tomorrow, you get a close in this number at 80.39 that you're under 79. I think you're coming down. And I know already, unless this market jumps literally on the opener, which I don't expect it to do, you're probably going to lose that reading intraday, and you're setting yourself up for more of a correction, in my opinion. Then we come to the uranium, the Camco. This is the support area I've been looking for. The 100-day average in green and the Bollinger Band. It is not a buy. It is an area for shorts to cover, from my point of view. You're oversold. UGA, gasoline. Nobody's paying attention to gasoline. It has come up dramatically from these lows, and in the futures, the same thing. Fuel prices are going back up right now. I didn't say crude so much. I'm saying fuel, definitely. I see it on the futures. Will it hold? Who knows? You're going to get 2 reports coming out right away. I think it's this week. You're going to get your OPEC report. What do they think of the coming up month of demand? They'll alter their quarterlies often. They do all this right now. They come out with all kinds of statements. And the IEA, the International Energy Agency. And these two are very far apart. OPEC is much more bullish than the IEA is. Be interesting to see how this plays out in the next report. You're very overbought in the financial services. I mean, I look at momentum as often a leader of price. And when you're overbought, it doesn't mean you can't go higher. Overbought obviously means the market's been going up. But it's also, to me, a filter not to deploy new money because the market is overbought and it's time for caution. In XLI, you have your fully embedded reading. So until the red line's under 79, and this pattern's not bad, I still expect to see buying in the market. Now, obviously, I want to see, and the advantage for me, at least, in my morning subscriber video for the spiders and the stocks, I'll have seen what's going to be the story on the CPI number, and I'll have an idea of what I want to do in that market right off the bat. What do you think I would have told you today to do in AMC? It's when you were down here, I said, I think you're bottoming. Now I think you've reached your resistance. And that's what I was predicting last week. I thought you can get up to the Bollinger Band, and that would be the first test. But now the $4 mark becomes interesting. The market's trying to establish itself for the spring-summer month. That's what I think's going on at this point. So until you can, and unless you get back under 359, I think you're in a bottoming zone where the market that could surprise you a little bit to the upside if the movies have legs. RSPDs, consumer confidence, still very good here. As you can see, the consumer discretionary, he's just buys. You're at the upper Bollinger Band. You're at a new high for the move. It's obviously bullish. Watch the red line until you close under 79. Pullbacks are still being bought by the consumer. Home builders, I think I told you when you were down here, I said, don't you dare sell these guys short. This is spring, summer markets coming up. These guys are smart, and it's called a home builder. These aren't existing homes. You got to come in with money to buy from them. They don't have a lot of inventory. If they build a house or two as a spec, it's a lot. Why would they do that? They can afford for you to come in. There's built up demand for people that want these new homes. They're showing it right now. Could this be a breakout to the upside? Yes. Yes, it could be. Energy sector. Not too overbought. I don't see anything here. You're into key resistance areas, 200-day, 100-day upper Bollinger Band. It's already seen the Red Sea event. It's already seeing how we're doing. Now the next step is inflation. Do we get rate cuts to spur economies on? Then I get friendly on the energy. See, I joined the Saudi side of the bullish equation if and when interest rate cuts start happening to spur on the economies. I'm on the IEA side because I don't see the Fed in a rush to do that until the data says they should be doing something, and the data hasn't said that. In the gold market, the headwind is a strong dollar and high interest rates. No, you don't want to own gold in that environment. At least I don't tell people to. You're down, by the way, on the weekly chart to a key number. And if you go to the metal report, you'll see what I'm saying. But this is still bearish here on GLD. Today the market cut through previous week's lows. There's no way I'm friendly now. Copper market, same thing. I'm bearish. And what's going to happen this week? Lunar holiday in China is taking place. This is a national week of holiday. Nobody's in China placing big orders to do anything. Typically, I'd be waiting on the sidelines there. I don't see anything to do. Obviously, BND, TLT. I want to see tomorrow's CPI number before I tell anybody to do anything. And the same would go in the currencies. I think you got to wait and see those numbers tomorrow and then react to them. Don't jump the gun in front of them. You have no idea, number one, what they'll say and how the market's going to react to what they are. You know already the naysayers are waiting. If CPI shows weakness, they're all going to say the Fed shouldn't wait, they should be moving now, it's blah, blah, blah. If they're super strong, they're going to be dumbstruck and they'll still say, that's wrong. The market's going to see a change and they have to cut rates sooner rather than later. They go into it all one-sided. So you put it together, that's pretty much what I'm seeing. I'll be writing about it in my morning report in detail. Linn, the firm I'm with, will be writing about it during the day. We already put out a special today chart on the dollar index where that may go on your price counts. If you'd like to get this information, all you need to do is go to iraepstein.com. and free offers. You can move your cursor up here. And if you want to subscribe to my morning video right through YouTube, you see on the bottom here, just give that a click and away you go. I'm Ira. You have a good evening. I can't wait for the morning. It should be exciting. Take care.